Sentiments, speeches, and freedom of action. And in the process, all of you have really been targeted, if not all of you, many of you, in one way or the other. And this is something which has earned you as an entity great respect, not only in Pakistan, but internationally. The recent murder of Arshad Sharif is obviously a very sad incident which happened in Kenya. And I spoke to the President of Kenya myself, and also our Foreign Office Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto was in coordination with Kenyan authorities, and I spoke to other agencies in Pakistan for speedy action in this behalf, and also return of his body back to Pakistan. I have written a letter to the Chief Justice of Supreme Court of Pakistan to constitute a commission, and I hope some action will be taken in this behalf. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really commend your efforts and appreciate your contribution to hold this very important forum. And on this occasion, I acknowledge and laud the work that the Pakistan Journalist Safety Coalition is doing to promote the cause of journalists, their safety, security, and protection in their line of duty. This forum today also marks the 10 years of UN Plan of Action in Asia. It is being held to celebrate the key achievements of Pakistan and other countries of Asia with regard to the implementation of the UN Plan of Action on safety of journalists and the issues of impunity. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an article of faith with me, and of course, as well as with you, that democracy and media freedom reinforce each other. They go hand in hand. And let me state with fullest authority at my command that despite the checkered history, Pakistan is and always will be a democracy. Of course, there have been stints where we had military dictatorship for 33 years, but then we returned that this nascent democratic dispensation becomes stronger by the day through our collective efforts and the scenes in the right direction. The 1973 Constitution is an outcome of consensus building by our political leadership, and they were giants. Many of them are not in this world, but despite their differences, despite their internal issues, they got together for a very sacred cause and rose above their likes and dislikes and differences and carved out a constitution which is still a binding force for Pakistan's federating units, a force which is so strong that earthquakes and floods could not disturb this arrangement, and therefore that earthquakes and floods could not disturb this arrangement, and therefore 1973 Constitution is a very sacred document. The principles of freedom of expression, of a vibrant and free media, and of freedom of information and are important pillars of any democratic system. My government strongly believes that these freedoms and rights are sacrosanct and remain at the heart of the development of democracy. We are committed to supporting all efforts that promote and uphold these shining principles. The UN Plan for Action on the Safety of Journalists and the issue of impunity, endorsed by the UN Chief Executive Board in 2012, addresses the issue of journalist safety. When in 2013, Pakistan was selected as a pilot country for the implementation of the plan, the then PMLN government, headed by Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, fully endorsed the initiative. It has since always supported all efforts to achieve the goals of protecting media freedom. Pakistan became the first country in Asia to pass legislation on the safety of journalists, both at the federal level and the provincial level in the province of Sindh. And my party and other parties in this coalition government will continue to support the ongoing efforts in Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Punjab to legislate on the safety of journalists. Last year, the Parliament of Pakistan passed the landmark Protection of Journalists and Media Professionals Act after thorough deliberations and the consultations with all stakeholders, principally the journalistic bodies. As evidence of how deeply political parties believe in democracy and the principles of free speech and a free and vibrant media, the law was passed unanimously by the National Assembly of Pakistan. Mr. Haman Mir has raised a pertinent point that Section 6 was mysteriously included subsequently. Well, I will certainly look into it and have this consultative process with you and see how we can overcome this impediment. The Protection of Journalists and Media Professionals Act recognizes the rights of journalists and media professionals against ill treatment, harassment and intimidation, including the loss of life. It recognizes the right to privacy and independence in the performance of their duties. It seeks to protect media persons from all kinds of aggression and expects an independent commission for the protection of journalists and media professionals. I understand, ladies and gentlemen, and also acknowledge that there are still challenges facing our journalists and media practitioners in the performance of their responsibilities as outlined in the report and like elsewhere in other parts of the world. However, I feel that these require sustainable engagement and collaboration among all the stakeholders such as the state, media, civil society, parliament, the UN and other international bodies. This is the only way to combat impunity of crimes against journalists everywhere in the world, including Pakistan. My government believes that no journalists or information practitioners or human rights defenders should be called out or attacked for exercising their freedom of expression as guaranteed under the Constitution of Pakistan. I would also like to appreciate the contribution of the international community in supporting the democratic economic and social development of Pakistan, especially the UNESCO and countries like Denmark, Norway, and France. Pakistan looks to strengthen and deepen its relationship with Europe, especially economic and trade ties with European countries, and appreciate the GSP Plus status that helps Pakistan strengthen its economy. We hope this status will continue and our relationship will further grow from strength to strength. And that also means we would like to cultivate our relation with other countries like Britain, United States of America, and East Asia, Far East, and of course Central Asian countries, and of course South Asia, because this is how the global world is meant to be, to have closer interaction to alleviate poverty, unemployment in this world. Without that, this world cannot progress. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure the Islamabad Journalists Forum will hold important deliberations on the challenges facing working journalists and media persons. Let me take this opportunity to reiterate my government's firm commitment to facilitate the implementation of federal safety legislation for journalists. It has been dormant, I agree, and I'm not going to shift blame to any political entity or government. Suffice it to say that we will take it up proactively and complete the steps sooner rather than later. We also look forward to the outcomes and recommendations of this forum. Let me assure you that the government would like to be part of the efforts aimed at making Pakistani democracy stronger through greater free media. There can be no democracy without the freedom of expression and without breaks or shackles. I wish the organizers of this event all the success. I thank you all. Pakistan, Zindabad.
एक्सप्रेस न्यूज हेडलाइंस को आप तक पहुंचाने के लिए हमारे साथ ताउन किया है
लौंग, नीम, यूकेलिप्टस और पुदीना वाला कोलगेट हर्बल दांत मसूड़े सेहतमंद बनाए नेचुरली।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट में इमरान खान